Alright guys, we're back in my garage for another episode of the B58 Digest. If you're new to the channel, I use these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments in the B58 community. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to subscribe to the channel. There will be a lot more of these videos coming out in the future. So you guys know you all have that one friend that always gets things wrong. Every time they guess or try to predict what's going to happen, you know that it's not going to happen. And every once in a while they get something right and they start running around bragging and telling everybody they should have listened to them. Well, in this case, I would say that, but I'm always right, so I don't really have to worry about that. But congrats to everybody that finally got one, because now we have officially confirmed that the Supra is coming in a manual transmission for 2023. Now, this is a really big deal for people like me because I am an enthusiast. I do have a manual in my B58. The 440i behind me is a 6-speed. So I'm really excited to see this. And a lot of people are basically wondering, is it worth it? Is it something that they should buy? What can they expect for like the driving experience and things like that? And since you're probably not going to see a lot of them at the dealership to test drive, I can understand the concern there. So I'm just going to kind of talk about the news and then give you guys my feedback as an owner of a manual B58. So just like the leak claimed, we got the official announcement on April 28th. Even Toyota put out a teaser a little bit earlier where they showed 3 pedals, and people were still speculating whether it's actually in the Supra or could it be, in the GR Corolla or something else. But finally we got the official announcement from Toyota. So obviously a lot of websites posted that this was official, but I haven't seen many post the actual Toyota press release. So I'll link that down in the description, and that's where I did most of my research because I feel like hearing it directly from them gives us the most accurate information. And what you can see is that it's only going to be offered on the B58 models, but all B58 models will have it as an option. So I've seen some kind of misinformation or misunderstanding claiming that it's only going to be offered on 500 Supras, but the actual limited edition Supra is a completely separate model. It's going to have unique paint and a unique interior with some carbon fiber bits, but that's it. It's not going to be the only model that's available with a manual transmission. Now, a lot of people are speculating and wondering what clutch and transmission combo are going to be in the car. I can pretty much guarantee you that it's going to be a BMW transmission and clutch. Everything else that's a part of the drivetrain is BMW. You can find the same exact parts in BMW, and all the tuning and everything is the same across BMW models. So Toyota really isn't doing anything unique in that area to make it special for the Supra, but there are a couple different options there, and we're not really sure which one it's going to come with. Now, the first option is the single disc clutch that came in my car. It's actually the exact same clutch that BMW has been using since like 2007 or 2008. They had it in the N54, N55, and B58 models. So it's a single disc clutch. It's pretty soft, but it doesn't hold a lot of torque. Around stage 2 torque for us is around 450 to 500 foot-pounds. You need to upgrade it in order to handle the extra torque. The next upgrade from there is what I have in my car now, and it came from the F10 550i. So that was the twin turbo V8 that came for a limited time with a manual transmission option, and that car came with 440 foot-pounds from the factory, and I've actually pushed it over 550 foot-pounds on my car without an issue. So that's definitely a beefier clutch. Now the other option would be the twin disc clutch that came in the F80 or G80 M3. And those cars do have a unique bell housing because it's a twin disc clutch and it's still organic material. It's very good and easy to drive, doesn't make any crazy noise, but because it's a twin disc, it handles a lot of torque. So I think that would be the coolest option to have. Unfortunately for us Gen 1 guys, that wouldn't present any unique, upgrade opportunities. If a lot of Super guys started pushing for bigger power, the clutches that you would put in cars with that transmission won't fit our cars. So I'm kind of anticipating it's one of the last two. It's either going to be the F10 550i clutch or the same transmission and clutch that comes in the M3. I'm still kind of leaning towards the single disc clutch being it, which would be really nice for us because hopefully that will present some unique clutch upgrade options in the future. Now, I myself don't regret getting a manual. I'm one of the 10 people that ordered it from 2016 to 2020 or whatever. And if you enjoy driving a manual, I feel like you'll enjoy driving the car. It's not going to feel like an S2000 or something like that, but it's still a good driving experience. It's more fun than the automatic, more engaging than the automatic, and it has a lot of nice features that make it easy to drive in traffic. It is still kind of catered towards new drivers, so I can expect it to have a clutch delay valve, maybe, kind of softer pedals than what you're used to, especially if you're coming from muscle cars or something like that. but there are some really easy, if not free, upgrades that you can do to make it all a much better driving experience. I deleted my clutch delay valve. I've got a DIY for that on the channel, and it cost, a liter of brake fluid to do the bleed procedure. I added a clutch stop so that I could shorten my pedal travel. That's like $15 shipped on eBay. So again, even if out of the box it's not perfect, there are a lot of things that you can do for really cheap in order to make it a much better driving experience. So in my opinion, I think it's worth it, but also in my opinion, I don't think this is going to be a saving grace for the Supra or the manual transmission. Like I talked about in my last video where we were going over the rumors, I feel like this is mostly a business decision for Toyota. They know that the Supra sales are going down, and the way to keep them up is to introduce something new every 1 or 2 years. So they had like the A91, the carbon fiber edition, and some different things that they've tried to do to help keep sales up. But I think this manual transmission announcement is going to give them the biggest jump in sales in 2023. I know a lot of people are already talking about placing their orders or trading in their automatic 2020 or 2021s for a 23. So it's definitely going to push sales up, but I still see it tapering off again the next several years afterwards. And this isn't anything new. Every manufacturer does refreshes and little new improvements to their cars to help keep up sales. So I do think this is probably going to have the biggest impact on the Supra life cycle, but I don't expect it to be our saving grace. So yeah, that's kind of just my opinion on everything that we've gotten so far. Again, we'll get more information when it's actually released, and hopefully we can see some part numbers and more analysis to understand truly how strong the clutch will be and what kind of options we can see for improving that car in the future. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.